What is going on, guys and gals? Fitzy here, out doing a little squirrel hunt today. It's kind of a crappy day. It's cold, it's windy, so not sure if it's going to be a good day for squirrel hunting, but because it's such a crappy day, decided to check out, recon some new areas for future hunts, some public land that I've never hunted before, never set boots on before. So since I'm doing that, I decided to cover some info on how to locate squirrels. I recently had a viewer ask me that's getting into hunting, how do you locate squirrels? So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. You know, it's just like real estate, man. Location, location, location. Location is everything, you know. You got to be in the right spot in order to see and kill squirrels. So that's what we're going to go over today from today's adventure and also from a hunt that I did recently. I cover some topics and talk about some things to look for. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoy and I hope it helps you out. A couple things that most animals need. Two basic requirements are going to be food and shelter. So I'm going to talk about shelter first and go over some of the things that I'm looking for to see if there's squirrels in the area. You've got two basic types of shelters that squirrels use. You've got a squirrel nest called a dray, which is like a leafy nest that they primarily use in the summer or warmer months of the year, from spring until early fall. And then as the temperatures dip and winter sets in, it got snow and high winds and it's cold, they move into den trees, which are just hollowed out trees. Not all the way hollowed out, they don't have to be a dead tree, but you know, a tree with some open cavities inside where they can kind of shelter in, and especially for the females, they can bear their young. So I'll point out some of those and then we'll talk about food. One other thing that I wanted to add before we continue on is that down the road, relatively soon here, I do plan to do a general hunting squirrels video, like a squirrel hunting 101 type video. That being said, I'm not an expert, but I have hunted them long enough that I kind of know what I'm talking about, or at least I've experienced enough things to share with you guys. So stay tuned for that, but again, we're just going to talk about locating them for today. So a good indication that you have squirrels in the area is when you see drays, which are a squirrel's nest, something that they use primarily in the warmer months before they den up in den trees for the harsher weather, the harsher months. But yeah, that's a squirrel nest right there. Got another dray up there, probably hard to make out, but they're hard to spot when the leaves are on the trees, but once the leaves come down, you can spot them pretty easily. They're usually real high up in the sky, high up in the branches, so look for those and you'll have squirrels in the area. In the colder months, you want some hollowed out cavity sections in trees that the squirrels can shelter in. There's an example there. Got a nice little hole up there. There's a nice cavity tree over here. Got a big cavity at the bottom, and then you got that nice little entryway about halfway up, maybe 15-20 feet up in the tree right there. That's a good thing to have for the squirrels so they can survive the harsh winters. There's another one right there. Got some cavities where the squirrels can hole up to give birth and to get out of the harsh elements. Another tree over there. There's another dray up there high in the sky. There's another dray, summer squirrel nest. Here's another potential den tree right here. Runs right up. That whole branch is probably hollowed out. That whole limb is probably hollowed out for quite a ways. You barely see an entrance right up top there, or in the middle of it. Yeah, again, good potential for nesting. These den trees. Good habitat for squirrels. That's what you're looking for. Food and shelter, good habitat. Next thing we'll talk about is food, man. Squirrels are scatter hoarders. You know, they take nuts, hard mass nuts, and they bury them for a future supply of food during the winter months. So you want to find a spot in the woods that has hard mass producing trees. I mean, squirrels eat a variety of things. They eat soft mast. I think they even eat some bugs on occasion, you know, but you want those hard mass trees. You want that supply of food that the squirrels can bury and hoard and have for a later date when everything else becomes unavailable. So I'm talking about your oaks, your red, white oaks, your hickory, chestnut, walnut trees. If you find nuts on the ground, you're going to find squirrels. Two different types of oak. This is red oak. It's got the pointed leaves or the pointed tips. And then white oak has the tips are rounded. Each one of those points are rounded. Red oak usually drops nuts every 2 to 3 years. White oak every year. White oak the animals like better, it's sweeter. Red's a little bit filled with I think tannin or something that makes it really bitter. But yeah, if you can't identify the trees, that's an oak leaf right there. That means you got acorns in the area. And there you go, you got some old acorn tops. That looks like some hickory shells. But again, you find the food, you find the animal. So here you go, here's some hickory nut shells, some old shells. Well, they're nice and fresh, straight off the tree, they're nice and green. But again, you find the food, you find the animal. And there we go, whole smorgasbord of hickory nuts. Most of them old, but here's a relatively fresh one. It's still green, kind of. So yeah, there's an actual nut right there. Oh, that's a fresh hickory nut right there. Yeah. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff you want to see. Fresh hickory nuts right there. Oh yeah. They're all in here. Bunch of fresh nuts. Nothing better than fresh nuts. Some more right there. All over the floor there. That's the kind of stuff you want to hunt over. And this right here is a shag bark hickory tree. It's got that really rough bark. That's what's dropping your hickory nuts. And that's a favorite amongst deer and squirrels, man, those hickory nuts. It's one of the first things they'll go to. So we've just been walking around exploring, found a little scrape. Looks like a little rub on this tree. Maybe a small little bark, maybe a licking branch or two, I don't know. It's probably middle of the rut right now. I should be bow hunting, but I love squirrel hunting. And I didn't feel like sitting in the tree today. It was a little windy, bouncing around in the tree, worrying about whether it was going to come down on me or not. So like I said, this is kind of an exploring day today, and I wanted to check out this little car top boat launch, you know, canoe, kayak, car top boat launch, because I fish a lot too. But anyhow, as we're checking things out, here we are. We've got this beautiful old red oak tree right here. And the thing about oak trees is they only produce acorns every 2 to 3 years, so this must have been a really good mast year for this particular tree. Hopefully you're going to be in a spot that trees are of different age, so one tree might be producing, another tree might not. But the floor is just littered with red oak. Now white oak produce every year, and they're a little bit tastier. These are a little bit bitter, but they're still a food source. And if you're in an area, this is all nice and open because it's like a parking area. There's my car right there. But if you're in some forested area and you really can't identify the trees, you can't really see the nuts because they're covered up with leaves, just look for the leaves. This is how I identify trees the best, because I'm not a great tree identifier. But this is your red oak leaf. A white oak will have rounded tips. And I'll show you a few other examples from the last time I was out. So here's a red oak branch that I just picked up off the ground. There are the leaves there, got the pointy tips there. Inside there you can see the cap to an acorn right in there. So that's what you're looking for, man. That's your food source. Good sign. Yeah, but that's a food source that you're looking for. Oak, acorns, good old acorns, man. Oaks are pretty common in a lot of woods, man. Hickories are sometimes hard to find, at least in the woods that I hunt, the public land that I hunt. Not a lot of hickory trees, man. But when you do find them, man, they're a key source, man. They love hickory nuts. And walnuts, man, black walnut it's almost like an extinct species, I think, man. They love black walnut, but hard to find them, at least on public land. A lot of the public land in New York was bought up in the 1930s. It was crappy farmland, and it was bought from farmers during the Depression. So it was cleared land, 100 or so years ago, 90 years ago, and in order to, forest it quickly, they put in a lot of pine and beech and things like that. So it's hard to find a good stand of good quality mast trees on public land. It really is. At least in New York it is. So at least where I hunt in New York, it's hard to find those big old, just acre upon acre of hard mast trees. Just a brutal day today with that wind. I don't know how well you can hear or see that wind up in the treetops there, but just a cold, nasty day, man. Squirrels aren't moving real well on days like today. Oh yeah, look at that den tree right there. Beautiful den tree. Oh yeah, I'd live in that son of a gun. Another scrape, man. Looks like I half attempted one there. Yeah. There's the mighty lake. Lake Ontario, man. One of the 5 Great Lakes. All right, that's the South Shore right there. Across the ways, Canada. Got another oak tree. Got the oak leaves all littered down below it. See that one right there? And then got the acorns. See all the shells. There's a fresh acorn. All the caps. Got the food, man. It's definitely going to be a nice spot to hunt on a nicer day. Might hit this up early spring. Or not spring, I mean early fall. Yeah, I think we can make that happen. Maybe I'll come here on a nice day this year. I don't know. But definitely next fall, man. Early, late summer. Season for us opens up September 1st. So nice trail that takes you all the way back to the parking area. So definitely easy to get to. Easy enough. So that's going to conclude my tutorial on how to locate squirrels For those that are just getting into squirrel hunting, it's not rocket science, but it can be overwhelming on trying to find spots that have good numbers of squirrels. There's lots of resources out there, the internet, books. I'm not an expert by any means. I'm not an expert on anything, but I have hunted them long enough to know what to look for to locate them. So one other thing that I'm going to say is, try to pick a day that it's, sunny days, calm days with wind. Those are your best days. But just be patient, man. Find a good spot where you know there's going to be squirrels just from the sign, and wait them out, man. You will see them, and hopefully you'll get the opportunity to take a shot on one and harvest one. But as always, take care. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.